This is Turd Flinging Monkey for TFM News. I'm going to be responding to an older article that was sent to me by a viewer called 35 Practical Steps Men Can Take to Support Feminism by Pamela Clark from June 13th, 2014. Now, this article is from some online magazine called Exo Jane or Zoe Jane. I'm not sure if the Exo is meant to be pronounced or whether it's supposed to be phonetic. I don't know. I'll just call it Exo Jane. I don't really give a shit. Anyway, the article supposedly lists 35 practical steps, quote unquote, that men can take to be more feminist. But you really could break it down to three basic themes. Give women your money, do women's work, and be a white knight. So let's go one at a time. I'll just read it because they're not that long. Now, before we get started, I want to say what's not on this list. One of the things, the glaring things that's not on this list is that it never says men should only pay half the bills. At no point in this article does it talk about women taking half the responsibility of the things men are typically responsible, i.e. paying the bills. Anyway, let's just go one at a time. Number 1, do 50% or more of the housework. You know, why not, guys? You only make all the fucking money, and your wife doesn't do shit, or your girlfriend doesn't do shit, or she works at some part-time job making minimum wage. She doesn't bring in shit. All of her money is hers, by the way. The money she makes is hers to keep, to spend on what she wants, to buy herself little gifts and do stuff like that. But your money is shared money. Your money is to pay the bills. So why don't you work your full-time job, earning all the money, paying all the bills, and then come home and do half the housework too? Number 2, do 50% or more of emotional support work in your intimate relationships and friendships. First of all, that's total bullshit. Emotional support? What, you're just supposed to fucking, cry with her? You know, hand her a tissue? I mean, emotional support? If you gotta cry, be blubber, I don't care. I mean, if you want a hug, I'll give you a hug. I mean, what the fuck? Emotional support. Fucking talk to your mom. That's what she's for. And I pay the phone bill, so I'm paying for it anyway. So I'm providing that emotional support, paying the phone bill for you to call your mom. Number 3, consume cultural products produced by women. So this is a short one, I just want to read it. In whatever interests you, French cinema, astrophysics, baseball, birdwatching, ensure that women's voices are heard and women's cultural products are represented in what you are consuming. If they are not, make an effort to seek them out. Because that's my job. If I go to the grocery store, I'm asking whether these apples are picked by female Mexicans or not. Who gives a fucking shit? Number 4, here we go. Give women space. Now, obviously MGTOW are all about giving women space, but let me tell you what it actually means in this context. Quote, many women walk around, especially at night or while alone, feeling on edge and unsafe. Being in close physical proximity to an unknown man can exacerbate this feeling. Recognize that this is not an unreasonable fear for women to have, given how many of us have experienced harassment or abuse or been made to feel unsafe by men when we are in public spaces. Also recognize that it doesn't matter if you are the kind of man who a woman has any actual reason to fear, because a woman on the street doesn't have a way of knowing this about you or not. Examples: if a seat is available on public transit next to a man, take that seat rather than one next to a woman. If you are walking outside in the dark, close to a woman walking alone, cross the street so she doesn't have to worry about someone is following her. If a woman is standing alone on a subway platform, stand some distance away from her. Basically, cater and pander and go out of your way and inconvenience yourself because of women's irrational fears. But it's like, if I'm standing somewhere and some woman walks up and she's giving me the stink eye, I'm not going to be like, oh, let me move away. You don't like me? I don't care. It's your problem, not mine. Men need to defer to their irrational fear. Number 5 is ... but insert yourself into spaces where you can use your maleness to interrupt sexism. Now, I could just summarize this in 3 words. Be a white knight. Be prepared to confront other men on behalf of women. Maybe go to jail for assault. Maybe go to jail for murder. As long as the woman doesn't have to confront her own problems, as long as the woman doesn't get her hands dirty and has plausible deniability, she can be like, oh, I didn't tell that man to beat the shit out of that other man. He just did it on his own accord. I can't be held responsible for that. And then you get to go to jail because you were a good white knight. You get to have your shit pushed in. So congratulations, Mr. White Knight. You've given the woman plausible deniability and putting your own life and freedom on the line for absolutely nothing. Like a good little feminist man. Number 6, when a woman tells you something is sexist, believe her. No, explain it. I mean, women think everything is sexist. Women talk about fucking air conditioning being sexist. I'm not just going to believe, oh, air conditioning sexist. Let's turn it up to 90 degrees. I mean, just because I'm wearing a suit, I don't mind fucking sweating buckets. Why not? I'm just going to believe you. I'm not going to require any evidence. I'm not going to require any sort of argumentation or logic or reason. I'm just going to believe you because you have a vagina. Number 7, educate yourself about sexual consent and make sure there is clear, unambiguous communication of consent in all of your sexual relationships. So, again, you're going to have to film a porno, guys. When you have sex with a woman, you're going to have a security camera, quote unquote, record the entire event, start to finish, because there's no other way to prove you had unambiguous consent the entire time, other than filming the entire encounter. And number 8 is one of the longer ones. It's called Be Responsible for Contraception. Now, what this means is 2 things. 1, it explicitly talks about the man should use the contraception so the woman doesn't have to. So the man should get a vasectomy or wear condoms so the woman doesn't have to take these icky pills and these icky contraceptive devices that could cause her hormones or whatever kind of problem. So it's okay for the man to mutilate his genitals or to wear a piece of rubber over his dick so that he doesn't even feel the sex and it's not even pleasurable for him. That's okay, as long as the woman doesn't have any sort of hormonal imbalance from her pills. And then the second part, it says the man should always pay for the contraception. Not just his contraception, hers too. The man should just foot the bill for that. That's his responsibility for the pussy. So not only is he paying all the bills, he's doing half the housework, and he's paying for her contraception. She gets all of her money for herself. That's feminine. That's equality, everyone. That's the feminist standard of equality. The man is completely responsible for his half, and then he's responsible for half the woman's half. So he's doing 75% of the work. The woman's getting all the credit, and she's getting all of her needs met. The man gets to give up his seat to her. He gets to go to jail for her. He buys her contraception. I mean, isn't equality wonderful for the man? I mean, feminism cares about men too, obviously. I mean, they care about you paying for all their shit and going to jail for them and paying their bills while you do half their work too. That's equality, everyone. Now, number 9, I actually don't have a problem with. It just says get the HPV vaccine. So, I mean, yeah, get a vaccine. You don't want to be sick or carry around a disease that you can give other people. It's just rude. I mean, you wouldn't want to get an STD from someone. You shouldn't be giving STDs to anyone. That's just being a good neighbor. All right, number 10, have progressive name politics. Basically what it's saying is don't allow the woman to take your surname if you get married. In fact, the man should take the woman's surname because this is opposite day. So the man's paying all the bills. Just a review, the man's paying all the bills. He's doing half the housework. He's paying for her contraception. And now he's taking her surname. Why not? He might as well just get a purse, chop his balls off, and present them to her so she can carry him around like a chihuahua. At this point, I mean, you might as well take her surname. In fact, I want all male feminists to take the surname of their feminist wife or girlfriend so that they could be identified. And they should also wear a pink bow in their hair so that we can all okay, that guy has no dick. All right, number 11, if you have children, be an equal parent. Again, the woman's not helping the man out with his responsibilities, his financial responsibilities, but he is expected to do half of her job. So he's doing half the housework and he's also being an equal parent. It says, quote, be willing to take paternity leave and to stay home and care for them when they are young. Divide childcare responsibilities so that you are doing at least 50% of the work and ensure it is divided such that you and your partners both get to spend an equal amount of playtime with your children too. Is she going to get a fucking job so that I can do this? No. So you want me to work 9 to 5, come home, do half the housework, pay for your shit, do half the parenting. I mean, this doesn't work out. There's only 24 hours in a day. I have to sleep. What the fuck? I mean, this is just like a utopian fantasy where this man just has all this time in the world, all the energy in the world, all the money in the world to just do all things to all people. It's like if you want the man to be an equal parent, you need to pay half the fucking bill so he has the time to be an equal parent. I mean, if both of you have part-time jobs, then hey, you could both be equal parents. If one of you has to have a full-time job, one of you has a bullshit part-time job, guess who's going to do most of the parenting? Just as by default, you just have more free time. So fucking live with it or do something about it. Don't just put all the responsibility on the men, but I know you're a feminist and that's just how you think. So number 12, I have to go into a little bit of detail about. It says, quote, pay attention to and challenge informal instances of gender role enforcement. And what they say is, for example, if you are at a family function or dinner party, pay attention to whether it is mostly/only women who are doing food preparation, cleaning, childcare, while men are socializing and relaxing. If it is, change the dynamic and implore other men to do the same. So these other men, again, this is like a party like Thanksgiving or something like that, they've paid for all that food. They paid the bills. The house that you're eating the meal in was paid for by them. They finally have a day off of work. And they're going to relax and socialize and hang out with their buddies that they haven't seen probably in months or last year. And then here comes some fucking male feminist, like your nephew or your brother-in-law or something like that, some bullshit male feminist comes like, hey guys, maybe we should help out with the food or maybe we should set the table. I would slap the shit out of that man. And I'd probably kick him out of my house and I wouldn't invite him back. If you want me to do half the housework, she can pay half the bills. Oh, she doesn't want to pay half the bills? Well, then she can fucking shut her mouth. Now, if you want to be the male feminist, you can go ahead. You can go help in the kitchen. You can go be a bitch. That's your prerogative. Don't fucking get in my shit telling me what I need to do. Fuck you. And number 13 is really overly complicated when it doesn't need to be. So I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to shorten it down and actually get down to the meat of what it's saying. Number 13 is, be mindful of implicit and explicit gendered power differentials in your intimate/domestic relationships with women, whether a partner or family member or roommate. That was a mouthful, so let's read and get a better understanding of what the fuck she's talking about. Work to recognize where inherent structural power differentials based on race, class, gender, sexual orientation, age, and so on. Where you benefit from these structural imbalances, educate yourself about your privilege and work on finding ways to create a more equitable balance of power. For example, if you're in a domestic partnership where you are the primary income earner, educate yourself about the gendered wage gap and work on dividing labor and economic resources within your household in a way that increases the economic autonomy of your partner. Let me simplify that. Give women money for nothing. So, to recap, the man's doing all the work, earning all the money, doing half the housework, half the parenting, taking over for the woman's duties at basically every example, deferring to women in public, and now he's just giving her money. Giving her his money just because. Bitch, get a job. Get a fucking job and pay your own fucking bills. Give you money for fucking nothing. Fucking suck my dick. You could earn that money. Earn it on your knees. Number 14, make sure that honesty and respect guide your romantic and sexual relationships with women. Hey, that's great advice. I'm all for honesty and respect. How about it flows both ways? I don't see a lot of honesty and respect in this article. I don't see a lot of honesty and respect flowing towards men from feminists. So when I receive respect and honesty, I will give respect and honesty. I see a lot of blaming of men. I see a lot of entitlement. I don't see a lot of respect and honesty. So until I see that, you could blow it out your ass. Number 15 is kind of a revision of a previous one. Don't be an online bystander in the face of sexism. Basically, be a white knight on the internet. Because not only are women too weak to defend themselves in real life, they're too weak and stupid to defend themselves on the internet, where strength is not even a factor. You could be the scrawniest, weakest, anemic person in the world, and you could just be a boss online. You could be the biggest troll and you could have all the clever arguments and comebacks. But of course, women can't even do that. They can't even manage a virtual platform where the physical differences between men and women are completely negated. No, they need men to white knight for them on the internet too. God forbid a woman can actually hold her own shit in a conversation on the internet. Women are just so helpless, they can't even use words. And women are supposed to be so great. They're like, oh, women use so many more words than men. They're so much better at social situations. They're so much more in touch with their emotions. They can't even defend themselves online. Their precious feelings get hurt from the big bad words that they have to read. This is just a side tangent. I know. Just a quick side tangent before we continue on the article. This whole bullshit about cyberbullying. It's like, if you're online like Facebook or any social media and someone's bullying you, you delete their comment and you block them or ban them or whatever. If you continue to read their comments and then you get so upset that you like cut yourself or something like that, like that's your fault. Nobody's forcing you to go on social media and read people's comments. I mean, I get hate mail and all these people calling me all kinds of names. I don't give a shit. It's the fucking internet. If you take it so personally that you harm yourself or get so depressed that it just sends you to a downward spiral, stop going there. Stop reading it. Block them, ban them. There's all these tools. People, I mean, I really have a theory that cyberbullying is just a conspiracy for people to get attention. Because if you're really being cyberbullied and you choose not to delete those comments, you choose not to ban them, that's because you want that negative attention. You want it because you want to be a victim. You want to be like, see, the bad people are threatening me and boo-hoo-hoo, give me money. Fucking be an adult. Fucking delete it, ban it, stop going on social media. It's not that hard. You're choosing to do it. I mean, I can understand a kid going to school and getting bullied because he has to go to school. The government says so. He doesn't have a choice. But going on the internet, that is a 100% choice you are making. If you choose to not ban someone or not delete their comments and you choose to read it every day and follow them and get really upset, you are choosing to do that. these feminists are expecting men to be their white knights. So they want to maintain their plausible deniability once again. They want to subject themselves purposefully to this sort of hate, quote unquote. And then they want the man to go out of his way to threaten, harass, or re-harass or whatever to be a white knight online. Because they can't do it themselves. They have to only be the victim. They have to have the white knight get their hands dirty on behalf of the women so they can just pretend to be the victim. All the while, they could easily just block, ban, get rid of these trolls, but they choose not to because they want to be victims, they want the attention. It's fucking pathetic. Pathetic. And these women are like, oh, women are so much smarter, they use so much more words, they're so much better at the English language. Bullshit. If women are so great at the English language, I would see better arguments in my comment section from them. But I don't. All right, number 16. Be responsible with money in domestic/romantic relationships. So this is some practical advice. If you have a gambling problem or something, you should probably get it worked out because if your partner is relying on you financially and you waste your money, it hurts both of you. That's not bad advice. I just wish it wasn't in this article because it's full of so much bullshit. It makes you almost want to reject the good advice along with all the bad advice. But yeah, if you're responsible for other people, you should take that responsibility seriously. Number 17, be responsible for your own health. So it talks about how men don't go to the doctor as much as women and so on. The main reason men don't go to the doctor as much as women is because men have to pay for it. Men manage the bills. So if they can avoid a $500 doctor visit, they will. So it's like, okay, men go to the doctor more. Okay, sounds great. Are you going to pay for it? Are you going to help offset these bills by doing some work? Nope, because I'm doing all the work. Or I'm doing half of your job while I'm earning all the money, and now you expect me to pay more in doctor bills because apparently I have a money tree out back and I can just shake it and get all the money I want. Number 18, don't ogle or make comments about women, i.e. keep your tongue in your mouth and your comments to yourself. Eat a dick. Eat a fucking dick. Oh, don't talk about women, just give us your money, do our work, pay our bills, and just don't look at women. Men look. Women are around. In fact, you all dress like you want to be looked at anyway, and men are going to look. It's an instinct. If you don't want us looking at other women, why don't you look good yourself? Why don't you do some sit-ups? Quit being such a fat bitch, and maybe I'll look at you more. Maybe, if you're lucky. Moving on. Number 19, pay attention to the sex of experts and key figures presenting information to you in the media. Okay, let's see what they're actually talking about. They say, when you are watching an expert on TV, reading articles, etc., notice how often this information will come from men, at the very least, wonder how a female perspective might be different. Who gives a shit? Are they right? No? Okay, then they're full of shit. Only feminists care about what the genitals are. Oh, is the female perspective different? Probably because females are retarded, and they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And all they think about is with their genitals. Oh, a woman said it. Oh, it must be true. Anyway, number 20. Ensure some of your heroes and role models are women. Now, if you're a man, how would your role models be women? I mean, just think about the stupidity of that statement. How are we supposed to look up to a woman as a man for a role model that I'm supposed to look to? I'm like, oh, that woman, oh, she's the perfect role model. I want to be just like her. Women don't do that at all. I mean, I guess like a transgendered woman I could look up to. Let's look up to fucking, what's his face? Bruce Jenner? They're like, oh, I want to win the decathlon just like Bruce Jenner. And then I can tuck my penis between my legs like Buffalo Bill and dance in front of the mirror. It's fucking stupid. I mean, a role model should be someone, if you're going to have role models anyway, I mean, I don't really care about role models, but if you're going to have role models, they should be where you want to be. So you look up to someone who's accomplished what you're trying to accomplish. What women have accomplished anything that a man would actually aspire to? I mean, show me the woman. Show me one woman that is a role model that men could look up to. Like, look what that woman achieved. That's what I want to do. I mean, women achieve through government fiat because the government forces companies and forces academia to accept women who aren't qualified, and that's how they achieve what they achieve. They don't go out there and get their hands dirty and actually work hard. They have government quotas. They have Title IX. They have all this bullshit. I mean, how is a man supposed to use that as some sort of role model? Like, oh, I want to use Title IX to get into a college, and I want to use all these gender quotas. Oh, wait, I can't because I got a penis. So how the fuck am I supposed to use that as any sort of role model or inspiration? Because none of those things apply to me. Fucking stupid. All right, number 21. Praise the virtues and accomplishments of women in your life to others. Okay, let's talk about them. Show me the virtues and accomplishments of women in my life, or women in general. Well, they have babies. That's a function of your biology. Women in comas can have babies. That's not a virtue. That's not something you worked hard for. That's your body. So what do women do other than have babies that men should praise them for? What great virtues do they exhibit? I mean, the man's doing half the housework. He's doing half the parenting and paying all the bills. But let's praise the women for what they do. They're 25%. Oh, praise you for your 25%. I'm only doing 75%, but praise you for your 25%. All hail the golden vagina. All hail the golden vagina. All right, number 22. Have integrity with your male friends, i.e. don't be a bro. Basically, be a white knight with your friends. So this is a really easy way to get rid of your friends. And it kind of goes back to the earlier one about don't look at women, don't touch women, don't ogle women. So now she's trying to trick these male feminists into basically losing all their friends. Because if you're my friend and you start pulling this feminist bullshit in front of me, we're not friends anymore. You can go fuck yourself. And that's probably what she wants. She probably wants all your friends to abandon you and tell you to fuck off. That way she's your only friend. So then she has you by the balls, if you haven't already chopped them off. Number 23, don't treat your spouse like a nag. If she is nagging, you are probably lagging. Fuck you, bitch. If she's nagging, you're probably lagging. Well, if she's nagging, maybe she should get off her fucking ass and do it herself. How about that? If a man wants something done, he doesn't nag his wife like, honey, this laundry's still dirty. What does a woman do? If a man nags his wife about not cleaning or cooking, she tells him to do it himself. But when a woman nags a man, oh, he's lagging, he's not doing it the first time. Fuck you. Get off your fat fucking ass and do some fucking work. When you're paying half the bills, then you have a right to complain if the guy's not pulling his weight around the house. When he's paying the bills, you can go fuck yourself. Number 25, befriend women. Yeah, so you've already lost all your male friends because you pulled this feminism shit. So why don't you just befriend women? Why not become an accessory to her friends as well? Number 26. Now, number 26 is very telling. It says, find female mentors/leaders, i.e. be subordinate to women. There you go. Equality, everyone. Men being subordinate to women. That's gender equality because this is opposite day. Number 27, when in a romantic relationship, be responsible for events and special dates associated with your side of the family. So again, doing your wife's job, doing your girlfriend's job. God forbid she do anything in life. You have to do at least half of it. You have to be responsible for everything. God forbid she do anything. It's all your responsibility. You do it all. Fuck you. I mean, how hard is it to remember birthdays and holidays and shit? It's like, what else do? You live for that shit. You live for all this interaction and social media. You should be all over that. That's like your calling. But no, it's still the man. Oh, anything, any work. Feminism will not allow a woman to do anything. It has to always be the man. Do everything. If you want to be a good male feminist, you need to do all the work and give the woman all the credit. Number 28, don't police women's appearance. Well, how could I if I'm not allowed to look at them? So this is kind of redundant. If I'm not allowed to look at women in the first place, how can I police their appearance? Just slut it up. Why not? Number 29, offer to accompany female friends if they have to walk home alone at night or in a public square where they might be likely to feel unsafe. Well, earlier you said not to talk to women. And now I'm supposed to be their little escort, white knight bodyguard? Well, make up your mind. See, this is the thing. Women want it both ways. Give women their space, be their bodyguard, pick one. Anyway. Number 30, inject feminism into your daily conversations with other men. You've already lost all your friends, and now you're just the accessory to your girlfriend and her friends. Why not get fired from your job too? By injecting feminism into every conversation you have with men. Like, hey guys, it's a nice day today. I chopped my balls off and became a feminist. Hey, you want to talk about it? No, I don't want to talk about it. Because this conversation is not going to end well. I don't want to talk about it. Don't want to talk about it. Fuck off. Number 31, if you have a tendency to behave inappropriately towards women when you are under the influence of drugs or alcohol, do not consume drugs or alcohol. Just don't. You're not allowed to. Now, a woman, she can get as drunk as she wants, and if she has sex with someone, if she cheats on you, she's not responsible. That's rape. But if you say inappropriate things or act inappropriately, then you need to completely cut yourself off because you're offending women. See, this is equality, everyone. This is equality. This is female and male gender equality. Finally, in 2015, we're finally going to reach gender equality when women can do anything they want under the influence of alcohol and face no responsibility, but a man must actually cut himself off cold turkey from all substances whatsoever if they do anything offensive towards women under their influence. See, isn't equality great? Number 32. Be aware of the physical and emotional space you occupy and don't take up more space than you need. Oh, really? We're going to pull that shit after 32 steps, 32 little ideas of how a man could be a total pussy mangina? If you're a guy, you take up physical space in the physical world. What the fuck is emotional space? Do I have a quota of how many thoughts you're allowed to have of me? And if I exceed my quota, I need to be more indiscriminate in the background? If I'm taking up more emotional space than I should, then that's your problem. That's not my problem. This is fucking retarded. I mean, this whole thing's retarded, but that one's especially retarded. Number 33, walk the walk about income inequality. Now, I have to read this because it's just so stupid. Women still earn about 77% as much as men. No, they don't. If you are in a position where you are financially able to do so, consider donating a symbolic 23% of your income to social justice-oriented causes. If 23% sounds like a lot to you, that's because it is a lot. It's also a lot for women who don't have a choice whether to forfeit this amount or not. Now, putting aside the fact that the wage gap is total bullshit, the man's already paying all the bills, doing all this housework, and he's also giving his wife or girlfriend additional money so that she can have her economic equality in the relationship. And now he's expected to give 23% of his income to social justice groups for no fucking reason. Number 34, get in the habit of treating your maleness as an unearned privilege that you have to actively work to cede rather than femaleness being an unearned disadvantage that women have to work to overcome. Okay, and what's funny is there's no explanation given. That's it. Unearned privilege. Being born with a penis and a Y chromosome is an unearned privilege. You didn't earn that. No, you didn't earn it. Fucking nature doesn't work that way. Sexual dimorphism is unfair. I will admit it. It's not fair that men are bigger, stronger, and smarter and women have the babies. That's just the way nature made it. But talking about like earned or unearned or privilege, it's nature. Some people are smarter, some people are dumber, some people are bigger, some people are weaker. Some people are born with disabilities. It's not their fault. It sucks. That's life. That's nature. Get over it. What's a man supposed to do? Oh, I was born tall and handsome, so I'm going to splash acid on my face. Treating your maleness as an unearned privilege. Like basically being ashamed of being a man. You need to be ashamed. Not only, just because you're paying the bills, doing all this bullshit around the house, giving your wife money or your girlfriend money for absolutely no reason. Now you need to hate that you're a man. You need to wish that you were a woman. Hate everything about masculinity, because that's equality. That's gender equality. That's it. Equality of the sexes is hating men. And maybe if you just hate men enough, you can just get your own dick chopped off and get a little trans-op pussy, and then you can finally be the woman that feminists want you to be. And number 35, self-identify as a feminist. Speak about feminism as a natural, normal, uncontentious belief because it should be. Don't hedge and use terms like humanist or feminist ally that reinforce the idea that the F word is a scary word. No, it's not a scary word. I'm not afraid of feminists. They're fucking retards. So, in conclusion, Pamela Clark, you're a piece of shit and a retard. This article has 155,000 shares. Anyway, this is Turd Flinging Monkey signing off.